happened to him during the war. And as I was looking at the screen, I was see war experience, artifacts. I heard you talking about artifacts, and I'm not sure if Mr. Manassero covered this with you or not, but you have a lot of World War II artifacts very close to you here in the Bay Area. As a matter of fact, over you have the naval fleet, the mothball naval fleet. I'm sure many of you have seen that as you cross over the bridge, as you go through Benicia. And many of the ships that are there were ships that were made before and during World War II, because most of the men in the United States were overseas fighting the war. And the only people that were left here in the United States to help aid the war effort in building equipment and airplanes and ships were the women and the wives. And I know my mother-in-law would not want to stand up and talk about it, but I think it's an opportunity to also say that many of the women here in the United States spent many, many years during the war supporting that war effort by building those ships. They built the ships, they built the airplanes, they were riveters, they were welders, they wore leather, they wore goggles and all that stuff. And my mother-in-law has pictures of her with riveting guns and that sort of thing, and that's what she did. And she was a builder of the ships that carried the troops over to Europe to be able to fight the war, and also rebuild the ships that were sunk on the trip over. So you have artifacts here, and if you haven't seen them, next time you go through Benicia, take a look at the mothball fleet over there, and most of those ships, if not all of them, were built back during that period of time. So I just thought I'd like to add that bit of information.
Good.
That was good. So you met my wife there, she rode to the river. We don't call her Roy, we call her the Winnie the Welder. She welded ships. Yeah, in fact, you might know, she welded ships. Kaiser, wasn't it?
Yes.
Kaiser ship, if you all know about Kaiser Hospital, Kaiser, so that's where Kaiser started. Building ships, that's how he made his money in Portland, that's where he started. Building Liberty ships, was another name that just to transport troops and supplies. So that's how he had his own, started his own hospital in Portland for his employees, and finally spread. Kaiser finally became a big medical organization from that. That's where he started.
Is that Kaiser Aluminum also? Do you think Kaiser Aluminum?
Could be.
I wonder. We should Google it.
All right, any other questions from us? Nelia?
How long did you fight in the war?
How long were you in the war?
I was in the service 3 years. Combat about 10 months. Overseas longer, but actual combat about 9 months. That was the hard part. 3 years overall.
Alejandro?
How was your first experience with the gun?
What was your first experience like with a gun?
With the gun? I mean, in the service was, when you went in the service, they trained you. You know, they would take you out in a rifle range, and before you went out of the rifle range, they lay a rifle out, take it all apart, explain all the parts to you. This is the rifle, this is the gun, and. So they would teach you all about the rifle, because once you got in combat, you're supposed to take this gun out blindfolded, put it back together. That's how they want you to know how well they want you to know your rifle. So we learned all about the rifle, how to take it apart, how to clean it, take care of it. Then they take you out to the rifle range where you actually practice target shooting, you know. And that's where you finally get. When you finally sign your rifle, and this is your baby. Don't let you touch the ground. You take care of that. Never point it down on the ground, and if you're all kind of right. Take care of your rifle. It's your sweetheart, it's your baby, your life. Take care of that rifle. Overtime? We're going to overtime, huh?
Yeah, we're just about 5 more minutes.
Oh, okay, man. Well, you've been a great crew, great bunch.
Any last questions?
I hope I got you all. Go ahead.
When you first went to war, actual war, were you scared to shoot anyone? Like, were you scared to actually pull that trigger and actually shoot them?
Did I ever shoot one?
Were you afraid?
Were you afraid to do it when it was your first time?
I can tell you this. I can't really say that I personally shot somebody. There would be a bunch of Germans, would they leave their home, they would be running, trying to get away from us. And we're in our half track, and they get out, and I'm on the machine gun, a couple of them, we're all shooting at them. But you still miss them, till they got to the fence where they slowed down to climb through the fence. We all did that, so for me to say, did I kill him or not kill him, no. Then one day, we had a little ditch alongside the road, and the farmer built a small little bridge so he could go through his field. It was just a very little bridge. And one of the Germans tried to, he went underneath their head, and my guys would turn on this bridge, so when I drove over, the little guy screamed, so go down, I killed that guy. But just saying that, personally, shot someone, I can't say that. But I know.
Aura, what's your question?
What did you eat over there?
Say it again?
What did you eat?
Oh, how did you eat? What did you eat?
Oh, out in battle, you know what a Cracker Jack box is? Yeah, they have what they call K rations. They would issue to each soldier, they'd send up, this truck would come up about once a week, bringing gas, cigarettes, and a big box of rations, K rations. They were like different boxes, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They were like Cracker Jack boxes. You open them up and they were like, the ham was, for breakfast, the ham was canned and candy bar, maybe a little pack of cigarettes, a little pack of toilet paper, whatever else it is. And dinner the same way, like maybe canned hash or something. So everybody had little, you put them in your pack, in that pack, carry your meals with you, Until you say, oh, they had coffee, a little thing of coffee in there. That little coffee, that brought me another story. Yeah. So, we were one day over there and the Germans, big artillery, get out of here, so get the half track back. We don't want to lose the half track. So we all raced back for a couple of minutes with the troops out to fight. We were back into some woods, under some trees. So all morning, the shells are going over our head. But every time, finally, this don't sound good. We're having breakfast. We were slicing our bread, had our little coffee, making our coffee. The shell came over and hit the tree right above my half track, and all the shrapnel went down, and there was snow on the ground. So when it hit the tree, we all fell on the ground with this big shell exploded. Missed our breakfast, knocked our stove over, and then we could go, and when you got up out of the snow, you would shake the snow off it. You said, oh, that's where John was laying, and that's where I was laying, and there was shrapnel holes all around us. How lucky we were that none of these piece of shrapnel got us. So another lucky day that was. That's several lucky days, yeah.
So what's shrapnel?
Shrapnel is pieces like when a shell explodes, with a big shell, like that, it just throws out big chunks of steel or iron or whatever it's made of. Just pieces that explode and just like that shrapnel does it. So my half track had a bunch of holes in the hood, and the gas tank leaked out. So I never got it. They had to take it back and repair it. When they brought it back, and repaired it, but still had fenders, holes in the fenders. And every time we go through a German town, the Germans will look, oh, alles kaputt, which is meant all dead or all killed in German, because we have all these holes in the fenders. So the last half track, we named it after the assistant driver. I love Jane or something. What do we name this? So we named it alles kaputt on the side. Our half track was named alles kaputt. Was that fun, guys?
So that's just time. Let's give it warm and thank you.
Did you enjoy it? How about you? Did you enjoy it?
All right, so we're going to spend the last about 4 minutes before we get ready to go. I'd like you to take that